stage, and it was a club owner who walked out, and he goes, "Can I have the mic for a second, please? I have to make an announcement." So I gave the club owner the microphone, and he goes, and he's holding a wallet, and he goes, "Who's Paul Sveen?" And he's looking in this wallet, and I realized, well, that's me. That's my wallet. I must have lost it. Well, yeah, your wallet was in the coat check. Here it is. And I grabbed the wallet, and I put it in my pocket, and I realized I was just given the worst introduction in the history of stand-up comedy. Who's Paul Sveen? And my dad didn't call us by our names. He called us by one word: idiot. That's what he called us. Go wake up the idiot. And then who he was talking about would be me. Go get the idiot. And as a kid, it maybe bothered me a bit, but I don't know why. When he would say, idiot, it made me laugh. Our humor, our honest-to-gosh humor, our laughter, which is a million words, right? Laughter is abundance, gratitude, surrender, vulnerability, story, all those amazing words that laughter is. When you feel joyous, you send it out, and that energy attracts what you want. My wife, when I talk about intuition, my wife is so organized. I'm a little bit different, a little creative, a little bit messy. I can't clean everything up, but I decided I'm going to start somewhere. You might as well start somewhere. Like when I'm about to publish my second novel, and both of my novels were about intuition. But when I first started writing, I didn't know how to write a book. I just moved into it. And when I decided to become cleaner and organized like my wife, I thought, okay, my car's messy. I can't clean it in one day. I'm not built that way. I'm just going to grab one hand of garbage each time I leave my vehicle, and I'm going to put it in my pocket. And when I leave the vehicle, I'm going to find a recycle bin, and eventually, it might not be today, but eventually, my car is going to be clean. I had a car once. The car died on the highway going to a show. The car literally died. Engine stopped, it died. And the car rolled up to a hitchhiker. My car literally rolled up to a person that was trying to get a ride on the highway. So I roll up in my car, and this guy thinks I stopped to give him a ride. And I'm in the car going, oh my God, I'm stuck here. Now what do I do? Right, I'm not panicking. He thinks, hey, someone's getting... He opens the door and he throws his duffel bag in the back, closes the door. And now we have this uncomfortable 15 minutes of silence. We're both staring at the highway. And I go, sir, I got some good news and I got some bad news. And he goes, well, what's the bad news? I said, the bad news is my car died exactly where you were standing. I said, what's the good news? Well, now I have someone to talk to. All of us have stories of who we are. And if you look at your 5 favorite movies, each one of us has a set of movies we love. Do you ever think of a movie that you love and you're talking about to somebody who you just met, like Forrest Gump, whatever your favorite movie is, Forrest Gump for an example. And you go, they go, what's your favorite movie? Probably Forrest Gump. And they go, I don't like that movie. And instantly you don't like that person. If you don't like Forrest Gump, I don't like you. But all of us have 5 favorite movies. All of us have 5 favorite books or 5 favorite songs at least. If you think of the 5 most important or the biggest moments of your life, 5 moments, choose them. Those 5 moments strung together, and they could be across decades. Those 5 moments have a pattern and they have a theme. And that theme tells us who you are. Our energy, how we feel, what we send out is what comes back. Our energy and how we feel are the hits of our life. Isn't the sound of laughter the best sound in the world? Like, have you ever heard a senior laugh, like your grandfather, a person that built this country with his bare hands? Have that laughter from his soul, that senior laugh that just stops you in your tracks, that... Is that not the most amazing sound in the... Have you ever told your grandfather something funny and you get that noise and wonder, oh my God, is he gonna live? Do you ever get that snicker laugh? Like you hear something funny, maybe you don't say it correctly, then you get that. You're judging me for. You know what's a great laugh? Do you ever get the snort? Do you snort? You're a snorter? Oh, that's the best sound in the world. You can tell a story to somebody, and it could be an amazing story, but if somebody snorts, you forget the story. And now you're concentrating on the snort, because it's the most amazing. It's a soundtrack to heaven, really. Love to laugh. The first principle I teach is the inner critic. It's a lie. You are here for a reason. You have a purpose, and you are a miracle. This lady, she went to a video store. And right away when she goes to the video store, her husband would go to the action movies, the war movies, and all those, science fiction. And she went right to the romance. And she walked over, a notebook had just come out, the video, the DVD, and she's standing by the DVD, and she senses her husband next to her. And he walked from the action movies and stood next to her. And she grabs his arm and wraps her arm around his arm. And she goes, I've heard about the notebook. It's supposed to be amazing. Why don't we unplug the phone tonight and close the blinds, and you and me just have an incredible night together and watch this incredible romance. And she looks over, and it's a 6'5" biker, covered in tattoos. It wasn't her husband. And he looks down at her and he goes, you know what? That sounds nice. That sounds nice. I talk about inner critic. I talk about our theme. I talk about a child inside, the kid that doesn't have the fear to dance and to be silly. Being silly is awesome. And then I talk about intuition. Intuition is amazing. Trust in. How many of you have ever locked your keys in your vehicle? All of us have. Do you ever notice that the second that your fingers leave the car door, there's something in us that says, oh my God, something's not right. That's our intuition. Like, just, for some reason we're busy, we're thinking, we're just got stuff in our mind, our keys are in the ignition, we walk outside, we go like this, and we go close the door, and as it's closing, you can sense something's wrong. That's your intuition. You have a split second where you can maybe grab your foot with your hand and close the door, and stop the door from closing. And stop yourself from being locked in the parking lot of Walmart. But do we do that? So me and my wife, we had to go to Regina to do a show. And instead of flying, we decided to drive to make a weekend of it. And I go to the bank, and there's a lineup of 150 people, and they're really mad. And apparently the mainframe computer in Toronto had crashed, and nobody could use their TD Canada Trust bank cards, and nobody could get any money out, and everybody's really angry. And I'm in the lineup, and I finally get to the front, and I hear the teller go, sir, unless you brought the letter that we sent you when you opened up your account, we can't give you any money until the mainframe is fixed. And he goes, who would carry that with them? And I go to the front, and she says the same thing to me, sir, you need the letter we sent you. And I remember the pocket full of garbage I had taken from my messy vehicle and shoved it in my pocket. And I just lifted it out, and I threw it on her counter, and she grabbed a pencil, and she moved it around, and she went, oh my God. Oh my God. She goes, here's the letter. She goes, here's the letter. And she opened it up, she goes, how much money do you need? I don't know, 500? She gives him the money, and as we're walking out, somebody yells, how come he gets money? And my wife goes, because he's an idiot. My name is Paul Sveen. It has been an absolute honor for me to be here today. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you.